When people hear D-Day, they immediately think of the Allied landings on the beaches of Normandy on June 6, 1944. It was the largest seaborne invasion in history and marked the beginning of the end for Nazi Germany. But very few people know that the term D-Day was not invented for Normandy at all. In fact, it's a military code used by the US Army to mark the start of any big operation. The D simply stands for day. If an assault was scheduled for a certain date but needed to be secret, planners would write D-Day instead of the real date. The same with H-hour for the exact time. Days before the attack would be D3 or D-3. Days after would be D+1 or D+1. This system allowed thousands of soldiers, ships, and aircraft to plan a massive operation without revealing the actual day or hour to spies or leaks. The reason Normandy became the D-Day is because it was the most famous and decisive. In the early hours of June 6, 1944, Allied paratroopers jumped behind German lines, and at dawn, more than 150,000 troops from the United States, Britain, Canada, and other nations stormed 5 code-named beaches: Utah, Omaha, Gold, Juno, and Sword. This was Operation Overlord, and its success opened the road to the liberation of France. Because of its size, its secrecy, and its impact on the war, the world began to call June 6th simply D-Day, even though militaries had used that term for decades. The phrase also helped soldiers coordinate. When orders said on D-2 the convoys sail, or on D+1 reinforcements arrive, everyone could follow the plan without ever saying the true date out loud. For a huge multinational operation like Normandy, that was essential. Even today, modern armies still use the D-Day and H-hour system when planning major actions. So when you hear D-Day, remember it's not a secret code for Decision Day or Doomsday. It simply means the day of the operation. June 6, 1944 became the most famous D-Day in history because of the scale of what happened on that morning and the courage of the men who went ashore. The name stuck, and ever since, whenever people say D-Day, they're really talking about that one decisive morning in Normandy. But behind the name is a practical bit of military planning that goes back to the First World War. Understanding why it's called D-Day connects us not only to a single historic battle, but to the planning, secrecy, and cooperation that made it possible. It's a reminder of how simple terms can carry enormous meaning once history is made.